This podcast is a little different from what you usually hear from us, but our world is different now. We're all social distancing, working at home, learning about a virus that didn't exist a few months ago, and trying to figure out how to navigate this new normal. We thought you'd like to hear some COVID-19 advice and information from our trusted team of librarians, executive director, and a special guest or two. We hope these tips, facts, and anecdotes help you maintain your physical and mental health during the coronavirus outbreak. Please visit our website at albanypubliclibrary.org for more information and resources. Thanks for listening.
This is hard for all of us. For all of our rugged individuality, we are a social culture, even those of us who identify as antisocial. We enjoy the freedom of movement, the ability to spend time with friends and strangers whenever and however we choose. I am by nature an introvert. However, I have always had an odd streak in me where I enjoy being around people. This is probably why I love libraries. You can be part of a hive without talking or engaging with anyone. Like many, I fear what the world will look like when this is all over. I've always practiced a personal style of social distancing. Since I was young, I never liked people being in my personal space. However, I have always participated in activities that included close physical contact. I worry about the big picture, the economy, my children's education, my family's health. When those fears subside, I also think about the small things in life that I once enjoyed. When will I be back at the jiu-jitsu gym? What will live music shows look like? When can I take my kids to the park again to meet their friends? I also think about how libraries will fit into all of this. What will our service model look like in the coming years? We are all in for a significant but temporary social change that will leave us with a world that looks oddly similar but noticeably different than the one we once lived in. We can't let this fear overcome us. We can't get angry and reject the things we have to do out of fear and resentment. We have to accept the fact that right now we are not in control of the outside world, and we never have been. We only have ever had control of one thing, ourselves and how we view and react to the world. The last few weeks I have played guitar, something I haven't done in months. I have a pile of markers and a black book at my desk again. I am rediscovering bands I haven't listened to in years. Laughing with my wife and kids, FaceTiming with my mom every day. The house is getting a deep clean and reorganization, and that long list of things we have been putting off is finally getting done. Basically, we've been given some time, and we're spending them on important things. I've also been working, and so has my staff. We are looking to see what we can do now, and also what we can do in the coming weeks and months. We need to carefully plan our actions as we come out of this global crisis. We should all be doing this, from local leaders to neighbors to households. We can look to history for an outline because the world has been through this before. And we need to be like cities like St. Louis during the Spanish flu. For me, this isn't easy. I'm a jump to action person. I enjoy radical change in the face of challenges. However, right now, the most radical way we can react is with patience.
Hi everyone, I'm Deanna DiCarlo, head of West Branches at Albany Public Library, and on this very special Flatten the Curve edition of APL's Albany Made podcast, I'm going to talk about how local resources for seniors have been impacted by COVID-19. When I'm at the library, I spend my days at the Bach branch on New Scotland and the Pine Hills branch on Western, and the entire APL team misses seeing our regular patrons, many of whom are over 70, and for them, the library is a very social space. Since we cannot provide any in-person library services at this time, it got me wondering about how broader regional services for seniors have been impacted. I'm going to touch upon New York on Pause and Matilda's Law, Albany County Department for Aging, LifePath, which until this past December was known as Senior Services of Albany, and the Albany Guardian Society. As many of you know, as of 8 p.m. on Sunday, March 22nd, Governor Cuomo put a couple of regulations in place that directly affect persons over 70. New York on Pause, an executive order, temporarily bans all non-essential gatherings of individuals of any size for any reason. Governor Cuomo also issued the stricter Matilda's Law to protect folks 70 and older and those with compromised immune systems. The decree is to stay home and limit visits to non-symptomatic immediate family members or close friends in need of emergency assistance. By now, we all know that social and physical distancing can be tough for all of us. But for folks whose routines included going to community meals and other senior center gatherings, complying with Matilda's law could result in serious feelings of isolation. Seniors are still able to go outside for solitary exercise, so if you see someone out for a walk in your neighborhood, be sure to smile and wave from your 6 feet apart. You just might be the only human encounter that person has had all day. Did you know that the Albany County Department for Aging usually provides congregate meals in 19 sites throughout Albany County, 9 of which are in the city of Albany? Since they are no longer able to offer these services, the Department for Aging website instructs older folks who are in need of day-to-day assistance, including home-delivered meals, to contact Albany County New York Connects at 518-447-7177. As of this recording, the Albany County website is still stating that home delivery of 1 or 2 meals a day is available, as is a mental health support line that folks can call if they are feeling anxious, stressed, or depressed while confined at home. That number is 518-269-6634, and it is available 8 to 5, 7 days a week. Albany County Exec Dan McCoy has also asked us to remember folks in nursing homes who cannot receive visitors during this time, and has requested that kids and families send e-cards, well wishes, and drawings to Albany County Kids Care at albanycountynewyork.gov. This is a great activity for kids who are homebound as well, and I'm sure the cuteness and caring demonstrated by our younger residents for our older residents will be priceless. LifePath, formerly known as Senior Services of Albany, is another organization whose services have been dramatically impacted by COVID-19. They work in conjunction with the Department for Aging to deliver Meals on Wheels. LifePath staff are currently making daily outreach calls to more than 350 seniors to check on their health and mental well-being, assist them in navigating the healthcare system, and, this is a direct quote, simply be there for them. They are continuing to deliver meals to their current Meals on Wheels clients and are expanding the number of meals to others who are in need of food as a result of closing the congregate meal sites. LifePathNewYork.com has information about donating funds to keep these services going. The Albany Guardian Society is one of our oldest charitable foundations, and its mission is to improve the quality of life for seniors, their families, and caregivers. Among their many services is the Guardian Institute, which offers classes on a wide range of topics, including aging in place, estate planning, hearing loss, tech tips, and so much more. The classes usually take place at their Learning Center in Corporate Woods. But since they can't offer in-person sessions this spring, they are offering classes via conference call or webinar. As of this recording, you can still register for these free learning opportunities at www.albanyguardiansociety.org, navigate to their Institute page, and click on the 2020 Spring Catalog. Thanks for listening. I will leave you with this. During Governor Cuomo's address on Saturday, March 21st, he said something that really struck a chord. There is no Dow Jones index on social decline. The New York State mandate to stay home, stop the spread, and save lives is very real and necessary, and the unintended consequence of complying will likely mean increased feelings of isolation and challenges to mental and physical well-being for all of us. But it will be especially hard on some of our friends and neighbors over 70. From all of us at APL to all of you, we are thinking of you, we miss you, and we can't wait to see you in our libraries when all this is over. Be safe and be well until we meet again.
Hi, I'm John and work in the reference department for Albany Public Library. There has been a lot reported in the news about surgical mask shortage, some mixed reporting on whether masks are effective, and whether DIY masks are a viable alternative to disposable surgical masks. In an article published in Time on March 4th by Mandy Oaklander, the following advice was given regarding the use of surgical masks. It states, as the new coronavirus, COVID-19, spreads in the U.S., people who are well want to stay that way. But since no vaccines are currently available, the strongest weapons Americans have are basic preventative measures like hand washing and sanitizing surfaces, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The simplicity of those recommendations is likely unsettling to people anxious to do more to protect themselves. So it's no surprise that face masks are in short supply, despite the CDC specifically not recommending them for healthy people trying to protect against COVID-19. The article quotes Dr. William Schaffner, professor of medicine in the Division of Infectious Diseases at Vanderbilt University, who states, It seems kind of intuitively obvious that if you put something, whether it's a scarf or a mask, in front of your nose and mouth, that will filter out some of these viruses that are floating around out there. The only problem, that's not effective against respiratory illnesses like the flu and COVID-19. If it were, the CDC would have recommended it years ago, he says. It doesn't because it makes science-based recommendations. According to a similar story in a March 23rd article in The Guardian by Hannah Delvin, wearing a mask is certainly not an ironclad guarantee that you won't get sick. Viruses can also transmit through eyes and tiny viral particles, known as aerosols, which can penetrate masks. However, masks are effective at capturing droplets, which is the main transmission route of coronavirus, and some studies have estimated a roughly 5-fold protection versus no barrier alone. If you are likely to be in close contact with someone infected, a mask cuts the chance of the disease being passed on. If you're showing symptoms of coronavirus or have been diagnosed, wearing a mask can also protect others. So masks are crucial for health and social care workers looking after patients, and are also recommended for family members who need to care for someone who is ill. In summary, if you aren't sick, masks don't really help and may give you a false sense of security, especially if you find yourself adjusting it too often. However, if you are sick or are caring for someone who is, using a mask that you make is reasonable precaution. Just please don't hoard masks at the expense of our healthcare professionals who are at the front lines and need them the most. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the Albany Public Library podcast. Hope you all will be safe and in good spirits during this trying time.
Hi, I'm Mary Kuhn. I'm head of Central Branches at the Albany Public Library. It's easy to feel overwhelmed during this coronavirus pandemic. Our lives have changed dramatically, even if we're not sick, and it's unsettling. There's one thing we can all do to help ourselves and others stay healthy. Wash your hands. Hand washing is one of the best ways to protect yourself and your family from getting sick. The Center for Disease Control has the following guidelines. Wash your hands before, during, and after preparing food, before eating food, before and after caring for someone at home who's sick with vomiting or diarrhea, before and after treating a cut or wound, after using the toilet, after changing diapers or cleaning up a child who has used the toilet, after blowing your nose, coughing or sneezing, after touching an animal, animal feed or animal waste, after handling pet food or pet treats, after touching garbage. Follow these 5 hand-washing steps every time. 1. Wet your hands with clean running water, warm or cold. Turn off the tap and apply soap. 2. Lather your hands by rubbing them together with the soap. Lather the backs of your hands, between your fingers, and under your nails. 3. Scrub your hands for at least 20 seconds. Need a timer? Hum the Happy Birthday song from beginning to end twice. Tired of Happy Birthday? Neil Diamond has written new lyrics for Sweet Caroline. That can become your hand-washing theme song. 4. Rinse your hands well under clean running water. 5. Dry your hands by using a clean towel or air dry them.
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm a librarian at the Albany Public Library, and today I'm going to talk about social distancing. The definition of social distancing from the World Health Organization reads, maintain at least 3 feet distance between yourself and anyone who is coughing or sneezing. The interesting part about this definition is, while it's titled social distancing, it describes physical distancing. If you're being asked to distance yourself socially, what does this inherently imply? No socializing, no contact, no community, no fun. I might have slipped that last one in there. What can this do for your mental health? According to the American Psychological Association, this could leave you feeling fear and anxiety, depression and boredom, anger, frustration, irritability, or in the case of people who have been in contact with COVID-19, stigmatization. Is any of this sounding positive? How do we cope with this? Every article on depression and social, physical distancing suggests staying virtually connected with others, or even more important, checking in with our friends who have known pre-existing mental health issues. Find ways to virtually connect with your community. I think we all know the negative ways that technology can impact our lives, but I'm here to tell you in this instance we are lucky to be living in the times we are.
Our ancestors did not have the ability to Skype, FaceTime, Facebook video chat, Google Hangout. I could be here all day listing these off. We need to revel in the technology we have and use it to stay connected. I'm going to leave you with my helpful tips for beating the COVID-19 blues. Tip 1. Call your family and friends. Start a weekly rotation. Don't forget Grandma in her assisted living facility. She's probably feeling this keenly. Tip 2. Video chat where you can. Set up a virtual playdate for your kids or reach out to that friend you haven't stayed in touch with. Tip 3. Play online games with friends or check out Netflix's new party option and watch a movie with friends or family remotely. Tip 4. If you're into quirky forms of communication, dust off the old days of yore when letter writing was popular. Tip 5. Sing Italian opera out your window and see who joins in. But seriously, whatever you do, remember we are all in this together and experiencing these same woes. If you're feeling isolated, chances are the other people in your life are as well. Find new online or virtual ways to reach out and remind your loved ones that you are here for them. Don't forget, physical distance, not social distance.
Hi, my name is Jim, and I work at APL. Ever since this coronavirus ordeal began, one thing we've all worried about is how this will impact the local economy. By now, we've read a lot about the ways we can support establishments financially. You can purchase gift cards online, ordering food delivery from local rather than national chains, and tipping generously is encouraged. The Downtown Albany Business Improvement District is maintaining a list on their website of dozens of local restaurants, shops, online local fitness classes, and even some nonprofits you can support. They also link to what appears to be a new website called tipyourbartender.online, where local bartenders, cooks, servers, and workers in the hospitality field can create a simple profile and list their PayPal or Venmo account info, and customers can then support them directly. And it appears that each day on this site, one tipper is being rewarded with a $50 gift card to a local restaurant during this ordeal. Additionally, the Capitalize Albany Corporation has been frequently updating a resource page related to coronavirus for the local business community. Also, a new website, supportsmallbany.com, has developed in just the past few days. That site, backed by the mayor, is a collaboration of a number of partners such as the Capitalize Albany Corporation, Discover Albany, and the Community Loan Fund of the Capital Region. So there are definitely ways we can help these establishments and also places business owners can turn to for information as the situation evolves. On a personal level, I know I've been wondering, when in the world will I get my next haircut? I've looked online to see if my barber has any details about how I can support him. He doesn't list any, unfortunately, but I've read that we should be reaching out to service providers ourselves to see how we can help them. So today I'll probably be texting my barber to find out the most convenient way I can compensate him for the 1 or 2 haircuts I'll likely have to skip.
Hey there, Trishna Begum here from News 10, here to share some good news. According to a British newspaper, The Independent, a 103-year-old woman in China is the oldest person to recover from the novel coronavirus. She was diagnosed in Wuhan on March 1st and was released from the hospital on March 10th, her doctor crediting her recovery to a general lack of pre-existing conditions.
had those toilet paper.